Hello, Willowbrook family. Today's deep dive is into Genesis, chapter 27, verses 30 through 45. Have you ever made a large purchase and later regretted making it? You really wanted what you bought, but you knew deep down it wasn't the right thing to do. Either you couldn't afford it or God just didn't want you to have it. How long did it take for you to honestly realize that? Whatever length of time it was just the right amount of time. We can see this example in the story today. It's about a family that started out with perfect potential, but all of them became imperfect as time went on. But God still did his work. As you remember back in chapter 25, God had told Rebekah, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples will be separated from your body, and 1 people will be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. Well, back in those days, that was the opposite of what was supposed to happen. The firstborn had the power and responsibility over the younger siblings, but God told them it would be reversed, and they should have listened and obeyed. Isaac gave the blessing to Jacob, the secondborn, who he thought was Esau. Jacob and Rebekah had deceived Isaac. In verse 30, it says, after Isaac finished blessing him, and Jacob had scarcely left his father's presence, his brother Esau came in from hunting. I wonder how many seconds or minutes that was. It was just long enough. The next thing we read is where Isaac and Esau realized what had just happened. Jacob had received the blessing, not Esau. Esau cried out with a bitter cry, "Bless me too." But Isaac's reaction was very telling, and he trembled most violently at the news of what he had just done. So how long was it from Jacob leaving to Esau coming in? Long enough for Isaac to realize that he had done wrong, but not too long, so that his sin would harden his heart and allow him to justify what he did. Esau begged and begged Isaac to bless him anyway. But in that short amount of time, Isaac had learned a very painful lesson. Don't try to box God in with your own plans. You will lose every time. So Isaac was truthful and firm with Esau. The blessing went to Jacob, and it was irrevocable. Well, can you imagine how heavy the feelings of anger and sadness were in that family? Things did not go smoothly. Isaac told Esau that Jacob would be his master. Esau would live in the desert, and he would live by his sword, not in peace. And we later see that the descendants of Esau, the Edomites, would cause great harm to the descendants of Jacob. And eventually, God would wipe the Edomites off the face of the earth. We also see where Esau wanted to kill Jacob. So the threat was so real that Rebekah tells Jacob to run away for a few days and hide out at his uncle's house. Well, that few days turned into 20 years. And during that time, Rebekah died. So Jacob ran away and never saw his mother again. And you remember Isaac, who everyone thought was on his deathbed. He went on to live for another 43 years with all that conflict, pain, and awkwardness in the family. All of this because they didn't listen to and believe in what God had said. So, when you have a big choice or decision coming up, don't box God in with your own plans, because you'll lose every time. Instead, be faithful and obedient to him, because whether you're on board or not, God will still accomplish his work, period. Have a great day in the Lord, Willowbrook.